What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Alya if you were new here. So if you've been here for a while, you may remember probably about a year and a half ago, I filmed a video on eyelash serums. I think it was titled like the best lash serum, and at the time I thought it was. But since then I have changed my mind completely on lash serums, and I thought I'd be doing everybody a disservice if I didn't basically give you an update on my opinions and things I've learned since then. So we're here to correct some of the mistakes that I made in the past and pretty much just come clean about everything. So a lot of the lash serums that we know and love contain something known as a prostaglandin analog. Basically, prostaglandin analogs come with a whole range of potential side effects, including upper eyelid drooping, darkening of the eye bags, fat atrophy around the eyes, which is definitely what happened to me, as well as a couple of the other things that I'm going to list here. Increased blood vessel formation on the eyelids, potential darkening of the iris of the eye, so the colored part of your eye, redness around the eyes, itching, just a whole bunch of things that no one really wants. I was very naive and I thought the only brand that had prostaglandin analogs were Latisse, because at the time that was really the only one that people were talking about in relation to prostaglandins, and it had bitmotoprost, which is the most well-known prostaglandin analog out there. And when I cross-referenced that with UK Lash, I didn't see bitmotoprost listed there. Some other popular prostaglandin names are latanoprost and trovaprost. Those are like the top three that you would probably think of seeing in a lash serum, and I didn't see any of those, so I was like, oh great, we're good to go. But I was very wrong. So unbeknownst to me, prostaglandin analogs can hide under a plethora of different names, many of which I cannot pronounce. So I will actually list some of the names here, or I think these are actually all of the names. Comment down below if I'm missing one, but I did some research and I'm pretty sure these are all the different names of the prostaglandin analogs. So basically what I realized was UK Lash did in fact contain one of these other ingredients. It just wasn't under the traditional bitmotoprost name. At this point you're probably like, okay, well what other lash serums besides UK Lash and Latisse contain prostaglandin analogs? Well, unfortunately, a lot of them do. A lot of the popular ones that work really well contain prostaglandin analogs. And if you're wondering what a prostaglandin analog is, it was initially designed to treat glaucoma, which is an eye condition, and that was where it was first noticed that when patients were receiving glaucoma eye drops, their lashes were actually growing quite a bit. Of course, they also suffered other side effects that you would typically with a prostaglandin analog, such as fat atrophy, change in eye color, and a whole bunch of other things that I already mentioned at the beginning. So here's the thing. I used UK Lash religiously every single night for about 2 years, and I didn't really notice at the time the bad side effects that were happening to me because they are slow to progress. And it wasn't really until my mom called me one day and asked me if I was sick when she was watching some of my YouTube videos that I kind of went back and looked at some of my older videos pre-lash serum and noticed the change. So I'm going to pop up a few photos now so that you can really see the difference. This is how my eyes looked pre-lash serum. So I wanted to show you a front view, a view of the top of my lids, and a side view, and you'll see why this is important in just a second. Now here is roughly the same 3 angles, and this is 2 years into religiously using UK Lash, and you can really see that, yes, of course, my eyelashes are really long, but you can see the fat atrophy around my eyes. They're much more sunken in. My eyes before, they weren't hooded, but I had quite a bit more of fat in my upper fat pad of my eye, which in these photos I no longer have. There's also quite a bit of redness, especially in the outer corners, and overall it is just actually quite drastic of a difference from where I started. If you were experiencing the problems that I just spoke about, you could be panicking. And that's exactly what I was doing, but don't worry, I am here to tell you that a lot of these symptoms are reversible, mainly the fat atrophy, the darkness, and the redness. Unfortunately, change to the iris color is permanent. And to prove that a lot of these symptoms are reversible, I'm going to pop up an image now of what my eyes looked like 6 months after I stopped using UK Lash. And you can see that the fat atrophy is pretty much gone. My sunken in appearance has gone back to normal. You can see that there isn't as much upper eyelid show as there was before, so there's more fat now in the upper fat pad of my eye. Most of the redness has dissipated and most of the dark circles have gone. I do still have a little bit of redness in the outer corner, which has remained until today, unfortunately, but I will take that as a win because pretty much everything else has gone back to normal. As you could probably tell in those photos, my eyelashes did not stay long. Unfortunately, when you stop using the Prostaglandin Analogue based lash serum, that's just what's gonna happen. Your lashes unfortunately are gonna go back to normal, so you kind of have to decide, is it worth the long lashes for all the potential negative side effects? You do have other options. There are peptide based lash serums. There's not a lot of scientific data to support how well they work. I have been using a peptide based lash serum for probably the last, I would say, 6 months or so, and I'm not sure that there is a huge difference. I would say that they maybe are potentially a little bit thicker. I don't know that they're that much longer, maybe ever so slightly, but again, nothing drastic. So if you're going to try a peptide-based lash serum, I wouldn't recommend spending a ton of money on one. I hear that Ordinary makes a great one and it's very affordable, so I would give that a go first. The other thing that's important to mention is that this is something that happens to pretty much everyone across the board who uses a prostaglandin based lash serum. Unfortunately, it's not really a matter of if it's going to happen, it's a matter of when, and the severity of it just really ranges from person to person. Some people don't really notice much of a difference, some people have really severe side effects. So it kind of just depends. People who don't maybe use it as religiously, like, you know, you forget you're using it like, you know, once or twice a week, or you like use it for a while and then you stop using it, then use it again, you may not notice any severe changes. But if you are using it religiously every single night, more than likely you've noticed a little bit of a difference, at least, if not to the stage of where I noticed a difference. I'll pop up a list now of some safe peptide-based lash serum alternatives right here. Again, I don't know how effective they are. I was using Vegamore for, like I said, the last 6 months. Didn't notice a huge difference, and that's about 70 bucks, so I wouldn't really recommend you do that, to be honest. Save your money there. At the end of the day, having super long eyelashes is nice, yes, but it's not the end-all be-all. Thankfully, we have false lashes, we have good mascaras out there, and honestly, I really just would recommend that you stay away from any of the lash serums that contain any of those harmful ingredients. It's really just not worth it. That's it for today, guys. I really hope you found this video informative and useful, and hopefully it answered any questions that you might have about your current lash serum. And comment down below if this has happened to you, or if you have a lash serum that is peptide based that really works for you that you would recommend. Thank you so much for watching.